Hey pilots, DrainMan here, and today I have got a very special video. In today's video, I am going to build the moon goat. That's right, I saw this online and I mean, come on, look at the goat. How could I pass this up? This is a Cricket FPV frame. It's called the moon goat and it looks super freaking awesome. So there's only one way to find out. Is it strong? Is it good? How does it fly? And that's to build it and take it to the sky, and we're gonna do that together. Let's go. Alrighty, so inside of the Cricket moon goat, I don't know why you would call it the moon goat, maybe floats like moon space stuff, but then it's the goat, which stands for greatest of all time. So let's take a look at what we're gonna put in here. I've got my frame, I've got some zings, and these ain't no ordinary zings. These are Zing 2, 2207, 1855, so that means we're gonna have plenty of punch, plenty of power, and when we're coming out of a sweet dive, we'll have that oomph that we need to keep from hitting the ground. I was definitely conflicted because we've got the Cricket stack. This is pretty sweet if you have not seen this. It's by Newbie Drone, and he's got a nice ESC, and he's got a cool purple Newbie Drone stack. It does run beta flight, but it's a decent flight controller if you have not checked it out. It's got a bunch of stuff packed into a 20x20. If you're interested in learning more about this flight controller, let me know and we'll check it out. But I'm not going to use that stack. I'm actually going to use this stack, and I know that doesn't look nowhere near as cool as that does, but this stack here is the HGLRC F745 DJI version mini. So this thing here, I have reviewed this, or I did a review and they sent me this with it, so we took a quick peek at it. I'm not really sure. This stack comes with everything all in this little baggie. I mean, loads of gummies. You've got ESC, flight controller, capacitor. Look at that. We've got a DJI cable right there. I mean, come on, it doesn't get better than that. Lastly, what we're gonna put inside of here as far as our video and our radio, come on, what else would I use other than the brand new Caddx DJI, other than the brand new, what else would I use other than the brand new Caddx Air Unit? That's right, this guy here, and I do have a review on this. If you have not seen that, I'll put a link for you down in the video description. So this guy here is going to give us our radio link and our video, and then we've got our motors, our stack, and our frame. So let's dive in. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to build our frame so we have our platform to put our motors and our stack and put everything on. So let's go ahead and crack this frame open and let's see what comes inside of the moon goat. If you're gonna buy one or thought about buying one, this will answer that question for you. Boom, man, that is awesome. All right. So first up, we've got an Umagod sticker, and the reason why we have an Umagod sticker on a Cricket FPV frame is because that is who makes this frame, is the Umagod company. We've got our Umagrip right here, and then we've got all of our frame parts. Look at that. Oh wait, and did I mention we get an Umagod keychain? So if you like Umagod, you get plenty of gear with the frame. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up all these parts and we're going to lay them out. Pilots, look at this. We have got 10 simple parts. This is pretty awesome. So I'm hoping that in 2021, the Cricket FPV, I'm putting the pressure on, this frame better be awesome. Let's go ahead and build it. So looks like we've got a bottom plate here. I believe this is your stack mounting options. This seems to be the back. We're going to take the back and we're going to plop this through the bottom. You see the beveled edge, so you know where to put it. Okay, and this, you know, the idea of this is not a frame build, so I'm gonna blow through this pretty quickly. All right, so we'll grab our 2.5er, we'll head through here into here, and we'll just give a couple spins, right? So that way we've got something going for us. Then we're gonna take an arm, we'll drop it in just like yay, and then we've got to put a screw through here. And boom. Okay, see that? Nice and easy peasy. One of these just goes on top. Very simple. which is nice. I like simple. But I also like strong, so don't get too simple on me now. They go across, and then we need to pop through for our bracket, so we'll do that now. Make sure your screw side is facing up, because if it's not, you're just gonna have problems. And again, you get one of these. They're 2.5 instead of 2.0, which is nice. That means it's nice and thick. All right, we'll flop an arm in. And then we'll take a long screw, and there really wasn't many screws either. I mean, this just seems like overall a very uncomplicated frame to build. Okay, so it appears that our cage is a separate entity. So there we go. We'll twist these down, and obviously we need to snug everything up, and we'll do that. We'll do that, but not just yet. But look at that. There you go. So without wasting too much time, we are done with that portion. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out our stack and everything that comes with it. Look at that. Wow. Look at those gummies, huh? And then you've got your adapters. Those are your bullet adapters. Those take you from M3 to M2 if that's what you want to do. All right, let's go ahead and drop the ESC down. Now we have options. We can go out the back, we can go out the side, whatever we want to do. I'm going to go ahead and head out the right side. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And it fits like a glove. And now I'm going to go ahead and impress you a little bit more. We could slide backwards and we could slide forward. Whichever one you wanted. Can't beat that. Alright, so there's our stack on. Looking good, looking strong. Let's set that aside and let's go ahead and mount these motors. And if you haven't seen them, check these out. Wow, look at that. That is a beautiful Unibell motor. I want to tell you about one thing. I went ahead and 3D printed the entire kit. We've got front grille for the front. We've got skids and arm protectors for the bottom. We even have a Hero 8 GoPro mount. Look at that. I've even got a DJI mounting little pad gear deal box that has like little grooves that fit. I mean, this is just awesome. I can't wait to use it. It's going to make the quad look awesome. It's a nice little care package, keep everything nice and tight, but also cause some protection. So let's go ahead and set this up. So what we want to do is on the bottom, we have different options. We can just flop these on just like this. Look at that. That's pretty nice. Protects your arm, but doesn't give you much for landing. So I was thinking about doubling up with this because you can run one or the other, but why not run both? Yeah, that's what I want to do. Alright, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm going to take one of the motors, I'm going to put it on the arm, and I'm going to just grab just any random screw. I'm going to slide it through the motor, through the arm, and then into the motor. And I'll just finger tighten it, just like this. Okay? Then what we're going to do, we're going to plop this down, and we're going to give it a little braid. So check this out. You're going to cross over, under, just as if you're braiding hair. Not that I've ever braided hair. Look, nothing too fancy, but just adds a nice little touch and keeps everything nice and neat. Your braid is done, good to go. You can pull off your finger screw, and then we're ready to mount. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the other 4. That way I don't waste your time. Alright, so let's keep it moving. So what we've got is we've got our motor that's going to mount here, and then the wires are going to come across and they're going to connect like that. But before we do that, I've got a small little touch that I want to do because I'm not going to be running any race wire or LED race wire or anything like that. So I've cut myself some squares of heat shrink. Then I just simply grab a pair of needle nose, and what I do is I stick it inside. Boom, right? And then I give it a stretch. Ooh, ah, look at that, huh? Boom, so simple. So now what we do is we take our motor wires, which are all braided up nice and neat, and we'll feed those through here. Boom. And then we take this and we feed our arm through the bottom, right? Very simple. Now, that's going to hug right there. That's going to lock right there. And that's going to go right there, huh? And I'm a little uncertain about these because that is double dipping, but For right now, we're going to give it a shot. And that'll go like that. Now, this serves multiple purposes. This is going to protect the bottom of our arm. This is going to protect our screw head, so that way if we crash or if we slide on the asphalt, we're not going to damage these up. So the next thing I want to do, which I always do on every single build, and if you don't do it, you need to start doing it, and that is Loctite. And we just put a little dab right on there, just like that. And then we can set our motor on. And we'll thread into the bottom. And last but not least, I'm going to grab the fourth one. A little bit of Loctite. Drop through the hole. I know, so exciting. And I'm going to tighten it up. Look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so there you go, and I'm going to pull that tight. I've got my heat shrink right here. I'm not going to go ahead and heat this yet. What I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 motors on, and then we'll meet right back here. Oh, look at that. We've got all our motors on. We've got all of our heat shrink on. Everything's braided up and coming in the middle. This is really starting to come together. Before I seal up the Loctite, I'm going to go ahead and spin these off one by one. And I'm going to grab my Loctite, and I'm going to put a little dab around there. And then I'll grab my standoff, and I'll put it on. Now what that's going to do is that's going to ensure that it doesn't back off. Then I'm going to grab my pliers. I'm going to hold my standoff, which you want to be careful because you don't want to scratch it up, but also if you try to tighten without backing it up or without holding it, it's probably just going to spin and spin and spin. So there we go, nice and tight. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tin all of these pads to get ready for my motor wires. So big, nice, healthy bubbles. Look at that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and trim these to the appropriate length. One right there, one right there, and one right there. Then I'll grab my soldering iron and I'll go ahead and tin these wires. 1, 2, and 3. Motor 1, motor 2, motor 3. So to avoid you guys sitting here watching me solder 102 pads, I'm going to go ahead and solder these up and we'll meet back here. Holy moly. So I like to take just a quick second, hit it with some alcohol and a toothbrush. That way if there's any solder balls, scrap pieces of wire, when you stripped, you pulled a little wire, it fell, it's bridging 2 different MOSFETs, you plug in, kaboom. You see where I'm going with this? So I like to take a quick second and just hit it with the brush. It doesn't hurt nothing, but it definitely helps. So now we've got that ready to go. Now what I want to do is I want to bust out my heat. And we want our wire right about there. And then we're going to heat this guy up. Just like that. And then I'm going to flip. And look at that, it just pulls it down ever so nicely. We'll hit the bottom. We'll hit the side, top, and the other side. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? It takes one quick second and does such a big difference. Alright, so looking good. Everything's nice and tight and strong. What we can do now is go around and just put on our nuts real quick so we don't lose them. Alright, now we want to make sure we're going positive with positive and negative with negative. Alright, there you go. So those are on and sealed. I'll jump up under there now and clip off the extra. 1 and 2. Alright, there you go. So now you've got your capacitor on. And what we'll do is we'll just bend that down just ever so gently. And we're going to do that by putting solder on the pad. If we tin both pads, and every ESC and flight controller is different. And then let's hit the ground. Boom. Alright, so now's the time where I bust out this funky little magic. And what this is this is a specially designed DJI compartment holder for the DJI Air Unit or Caddx Air Unit, because they both have the same exact body. And this allows me to mount it right here, where normally I'd be forced to just use like double-side sticky tape. There's no screws or nothing you can put through the DJI Air Unit, so you're kind of stuck in that sense. I mean, we've used double-side sticky tape on many a builds, and it always works, it always holds, but it's nice if you can do something a little more sturdy. And then look, where the SD card slot is, that goes in. Where the SD card goes, I mean where the USB goes, right there. And look at that, snug and tight. Tight, can't beat it. So this will drop down, feet underneath, and then you've got a track, look at that. So you're not crushing it. Genius. Genius, genius. Now we need to go ahead and feed our antennas through here. So let's go ahead, and I think these are going to roll back up like that or something. So we should probably go ahead and do that now. Let's see. That may be too tight of a turn. Oh, look at that. And let's try this one. Oh, don't pinch my wires now. Not the easiest to work with, but look at that. And I would imagine if we wanted, we could put a little zip tie or something, but look at that. That is sweet. All right, so watch this. We slide down this little track, boomity boom, and then this gets mounted on here, as they've actually provided a little slot where your standoff slides right in. What do you know? Look at that. Holy macaroni. What would I do without this 3D print? I don't even know how I would have mounted this. Boom. So where's our connector? Our connector is right here. Look at that. You'd be surprised. Something so simple has to work out so perfectly. But look at that. Everything is just coming together so nicely. You'll flip this guy over. You'll put your 2.0 through the bottom. Boom. And then through the top, you'll put your box driver on. So there's your stack, looking ever so good. And although it's super snug, because of the type of grommets that I used, look at this. So I don't have to worry that it's too tight. Look at that. Let me demonstrate. Boom, boom, boom. So that goes to show you that although I have it nice and tight, it's not too tight. And the next and last thing to work on is our cage. So we plop that in. We then plop it back out. We plop in the right one. Alright, so here's where I take another little cool piece of this 3D printed kit that I got online. I downloaded it, I printed it, and look at this. This is awesome. And you can print it in any color you want if you got a printer, but you just simply take this stand off and you slide it through here. Then you're going to take a plate and you want to make sure that the bevel side is out. And we'll drop that in, and then you just put a screw through. Look at that. And then you tighten it up. Alright, so both sides are in. Now we'll take the top. We also have a GoPro mount, Hero 8, and we'll slide the standoff right through there, and then this also gets fed right into here. There you go. Look at that. That's actually a perfect fit. And we need to slide it inside of here. And that's it. We'll just put a screw right through. Alright, and then we'll put a screw on the other side. We'll pull that cable back, and then we just need to plop our cage into place. Look at that. There you go. Cage is in place. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put on our top plizzate. That consists of going under the GoPro mount, finding the slots, which is right. Come on. Come on. There it is. Woo! I can tell that they gave us a hole in the top of the GoPro so we could reach to drop our screw down inside of there. So I would imagine we go through the top into our screw and then down into the hole. Boom. That was pretty smart. Let's go ahead and do the last final touch and put on our UMA grip. It looks like it's just a full square and you just have to cut it yourself. Oh no. Oh no, they gave us the punch outs. Look at this. Oh, this is awesome. Look at this. You've got your punch out. So basically, peel this off, right? And then I'm pretty sure these are pre-cut out. Is that what this is? Okay, they're hard to get out. They like cut it for us, but they didn't cut it for us. Huh. There you go, I got one out. And then look, you take it and it goes right inside of the track. Yeah, but it needs to be cut better. I'm not really sure what they did. There you go. If it was cut right, I think it would be great. Not a huge fan of the way that those all ripped out. I mean, it wasn't easy to get out either, but I know they're going to do a great job holding up, but look at that frame. You can avoid this crazy madness that I just went through to get all these placed if you want to, and you can just go ahead and get yourself just a regular sheet of UMA grip and then just cut a square and put a square right here for your battery, and you'll be good to go. Alright, let's go ahead and weigh this guy in real quick. We are at 0 grams and we are at 406 grams. No battery, no GoPro. Alright, so moment of truth. We put in all that hard work. Let's use a smoke stopper and let's plug this guy in. Oh yeah, so there you go. We have power, our stack is lit up and looking good. Look at the lights in there. You heard the startup tones, that's with a smoke stopper. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up full-blown battery. Oh yeah, looking good, sounding good. Alright, so that is a beautiful build. The only thing that I would complain about is that the UMA grip wasn't cut all the way through, but that is really not a big deal at all. So far, this is just absolutely amazing. I love the motors, love the stack, love the frame. I love the 3D printed accessories that came with it. Overall, just an absolutely gorgeous build. I hope that you guys enjoyed building this with me. I hope that you guys are going to enjoy the flight footage coming up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.